we just finished it and we listened to the album through and ticked it off and said we're both really happy with it. We both love this album. 2 days later, somebody came into the room and said, I've got some news, very bad news for you, that Dave has passed away. Right. I thought, well, his timing. You know, what? That's a bad time. Talk about the time you've left me holding the baby. Thanks very much. I mean, it was.
You can do all the interviews. I'm off.
Yeah. Bittersweet feeling, I think.
Yeah. Very, very bittersweet.
What are you doing now? What have you done?
Well, I will put them on actually, because I can hear you clear. I just took my headphones off. Sorry.
Marc Almond goes, "Do I need to wear headphones?" I'm like, "Nah, you're fine." He goes, "All right, then fine." And then next thing is, actually, I'll wear them.
Yeah, I'll stick them on actually.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can watch live if you want, and you can see our guest, Mr. Marc Almond.
Yeah, nice to be here. Thank you. Hello, everybody.
Nice to see you.
Nice to be here, Chris.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Your voice, can I just say, what a gift.
Oh, thank you.
What a gift. You've got such an iconic singing voice. It's instantly recognisable.
Really is.
And you're making me blush now. I'm blushing.
Well, listen.
Bashful.
You're going to leave the studio a different colour because I'm going to compliment you loads because I'm a big fan of your work. I think it's so great. I love the fact that I lived in I live in a time where you were making music and I was just getting into songs. So probably about 83, 84 was when songs on the radio then suddenly started to mean something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you grow up listening to music and then all of a sudden there's a point in your life where you're like, hold on a second, music is amazing. And you start then listening to your mum and dad's records and your brother's records and then discovering what you like and everything. And so 84, obviously Tainted Love was a few years before. So I'd heard those songs on the radio, but then you were doing your solo stuff and you're doing stuff with Bronski Beat. And then it's just like, so I was hearing your voice so much when I was growing up.
Through the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, through the 80s. And I was saying, I'll ask you a question any minute now. Rather than just
I'm sorry, Chris. You could just carry on like that.
Why are you so
I'll just sit and listen and just enjoy it. Really.
Do you
just soak it up?
I've never read anything. I didn't do a lot of research because I just want to ask you whatever comes into my head. Without Soft Cell, there would be no Pet Shop Boys, right?
Well, I think they've always been very generous and said that that Soft Cell were a big influence on the Pet Shop Boys, and maybe some of the other electronic duos that were around at that time. I think I mean in the very early days, Neil used to interview me for Smash Hits. And I think he was always a very big Soft Cell fan. But I think that the Pet Shop Boys, they kind of took what we had and made it much more successful. I always said that Soft Cell were the most influential electronic British duo, and the Pet Shop Boys were the most successful. So they took they kind of made it much more successful than we ever did. But I mean, they've got their own sound and their own stamp on what they do. And they took it somewhere else. So.
But it's great that one thing leads to another thing, because obviously you would have been influenced. So when you were growing up, who were the artists that made you go, oh my God, this is amazing?
Well, I actually grew up. I mean, I became a pop music fan at a very, very early age because I had very young parents, and so we watched all the pop shows on TV when I was growing up, long before your time. Things like Ready, Steady, Go and Thank You, Lucky Stars, and so I love pop music from a very early age. And my mum, she bought me a transistor radio when I was about 10 years old for my birthday, and I remember this little black transistor radio, little plastic thing. I used to listen to a bed at night when I was listening to under the bed sheets, listen to the probably the pirate radio shows at that time. That's where I discovered songs like Days of Pearly Spencer. And so even from very early age, I was a pop fan and a music fan. So it became part of my DNA, I think. I started buying records in the 70s, and it was the whole thing. I was a heavy rock fan to start off with.
Were you?
I was,
really?
I mean, the first I liked heavy rock. I liked things like Deep Purple, Jethro Tull, all those kind of bands around that time. The first record I bought was Green Manalishi by Fleetwood Mac, and then I bought All Right Now by Free and Witch's Promise by Jethro Tull. And then along came glam rock.
Yeah.
And that kind of swept everything away from me. I just thought, oh yeah, I love the sound of this.
Yeah.
You know, and these artists that were kind of, they brought theatricality and were dressing up, and Mark Bolan, David Bowie, Roxy Music. Yeah. So I kind of put away all my heavy rock albums and my progressive.
Your career could have been
albums,
very
and became
different.
a glam rocker. And then I never looked back really after that.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because that's quite a wide spectrum of music. You kind of your bread and butter is pop music when you were young. Then you start to find your own stuff, and then the glam rock. But then you've taken all of that, and then when you go into a studio, you go, right, we're not making any of that. Yeah. We're going to make something a bit different.
Well, you know, there was a real, when we did Tainted Love, actually, there was a real connection with that, because, I mean, we chose to Tainted Love to do as a song. We were listening to lots of Northern Soul, because Dave Ball was a big Northern Soul aficionado, and I loved it too. Growing up in the north of England, you couldn't avoid Northern Soul. Sure. The 60s souls played around all the clubs and discos you went to. So we thought, we want to do a cover version of Soft Cell. So what should we do? Let's do a Northern Soul song. So Dave played me a number of songs, and he played me this song called Tainted Love, which was by Gloria Jones. I thought, oh, Gloria Jones. She was Mark Bolan's wife, and she was his backing singer. So that was the connection. And when we came to do Tainted Love, I was thinking back to songs like Ride a White Swan that really had this minimal, empty sound. You know, they were like just a bass and a rhythm and a vocal. And so that was a kind of blueprint for even when we did Tainted Love, thinking back to those songs like Ride a White Swan and the minimal pop.
But
thing.
it's ballsy, because, and obviously, how old would you been at that age when you were doing Tainted Love, when you were in the studio?
Oh, probably like, I was early 20s, because I left school a little later than a lot of people, and then I went to art college for like 5 years. So when I started a band, I was probably the beginning of the 20s, probably 21, 22, something like that.
Because it's I want to play a little bit of the original, because not everybody's heard the original version.
Yeah,
and I think for those people who've never heard it, it's a great song, as you say. I think it'll really, really surprise people. Okay.
Sometimes I feel I've got to run away. I've got to.
Now, here's the thing. I'm fascinated how you listen to this. So Dave plays you this, and you go, oh, yeah, this is good. I know what we should do. Let's slow it down. Let's take the brass out. Let's take all the energy out of it. Like, if I'd have been in the room with you, I'd have gone, Mark, what are you talking about? You're taking all the elements that make that song. I think it's never going to work.
I think, Chris, what we were trying to do, we were trying to bring a bit of soul to electronic music, which at that time was very kind of straight-faced. Everyone was trying to be very European,
right,
and very cold and very looking far away, into this sort of kind of cold, robotic kind of thing. And we thought, let's bring a soul element into electronic music. I mean, we recorded it with a producer, Mike Thorne, and it was kind of one of those things that just kind of happened. We did the whole thing in a day. The vocal I did was just my first take.
Wow, really?
It was the first take, and he kept it. And I never got it better than that, really. And so all its mistakes and flaws are all in there. But it just had a great feel to it. And we just thought, let's just make this a minimal sound and put the hooks in it. And all the little hooks, I had one of those things called... It was like a sin drum, and it was like a little round electronic drum. And I had a drumstick, and I was going bing, bing, and you'd turn a little knob on it, and it would go bing, bing, bong, bong,
wow,
dong, 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 dong. And so I just had this little thing going bing, 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 bing. And then Dave did this one going on the keyboard, bing, bing. So that's how it kind of happened, This very empty sound.
Whoever was sat through the glass engineering must have been like, Jesus, what are they?
Yeah. I know. Well, I mean, it was they just, I don't know, but it just had something. Well, obviously it did have. That's it. But
it's. Did you? I know you've talked about this song a million times, but when you kind of finish and you're sitting through the glass listening to it, are you thinking, this is really good?
Well, we loved it because we'd been playing it live for a little while. We just really wanted a commercial song. We need a really good commercial song that we can play as our that can bring everybody in, you know.
Right.
And so it had really worked for us live. And when the record company heard it, they said they were a bit dismissive of Soft Cell, to be quite honest. When we signed to them, we were only signed as a bit of an afterthought, really.
Right.
You know, we were given a grand and go and buy some equipment and we'll put you in a studio, but they didn't really know what to do with us. But they'd heard this song that we'd done, and they said, well, why don't you go and record that with the producer Mike Thorne? So we thought, we'll give it a go.
Where did you record it?
We recorded it at Advision Studios in it's just over near where is it? Just at the other side of Oxford Street.
Okay.
Actually.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And we did it in a day, and then when we were in the studio, we kind of did this little segue thing where Dave was playing this kind of rundown thing, and we just thought, let's go into Where Did Our Love Go by the Supremes.
Oh, so that was the same session?
So we did it all in one piece at the time. We actually used to record all our 12-inch singles as a long thing.
Right, okay.
As a 12-inch,
Yeah.
and then Human League, I think, used to do that as well.
Because 12-inch singles in the 80s were huge, weren't they?
Yeah, I think it was the idea we got probably from Human League. I know they were recording longer songs than editing them down. And we recorded this long sort of segue into Where Did Our Love Go, and then cut it down. And the biggest mistake that we ever made in our entire lives was the record company said, oh, we'll just split them into half, to the A side and B side. So neither side was written by us.
Right.
And so I'd probably be living in a much bigger house now. I'd be much richer now if I'd have put one of our own songs on the B side, and we didn't.
It sold a few copies, right?
And it sold a lot of copies. So I can't complain, because even now, you know, you hear that record everywhere. And
but this, and it is the full version of Tainted Love into this. It's just a lovely listen. It's a really lovely listen. But then this is my thing with you and Dave, and we lost Dave last year, so obviously we're giving you love for that and hugs and stuff. But it's very unusual to go, right, let's take this Gloria Jones track, let's do that. Hey, why don't we morph it into Where Did Our Love Go? Lovely. And the same thing with we were talking about the track you did with Gene Pitney, which was such a massive hit, and the brilliant Days of Pearly Spencer, which is a very unusual track. I don't know how much of a big hit that song was.
It was quite a big hit, actually. I think
the original version.
Oh, the original.
Yours.
I'm not sure, actually. I mean, as I said, the first time I ever heard that was on some of the pirate radio stations.
Right.
Where they used to play these things that the other kind of regular radio stations weren't playing.
Yeah.
You could discover great songs through listening to some of these stations. And this is, when I was young, there was a few songs that stuck with me in my head. And these are the songs from Gene Pitney did all these amazing ballads, and I always remember him from watching him on the BBC, in the black and white shows and on the Thank You Lucky Stars and all these things like that. And they stuck with me, these songs. And then later on, when I was fortunate enough to be able to record songs of my own, I thought I wanted to record some of these songs that I'd loved when I was a kid and I'd listened to as a teenager growing up. Something's Got a Hold of My Heart, an amazing, amazing ballad. Days of Pearly Spencer, just this. It's a weird song, really, isn't it?
We played it this morning, actually. The strings are incredible.
But it's such a great... David McWilliams did the original. Yeah. It's such a great, unusual song. And these songs stuck with me. And so later, I became this curator of songs in my head. And I parked them away there. And I thought, well, I got to be able to work in studios and with producers. And I could do what I want, And so I had these songs stored up. I thought, I'm going to do that, cover that song and cover this song. And those have always been the biggest hits for me,
Yeah.
I love the Days of Pearly Spencer. It's such a lovely track, and the whole production, the strings. And then here's the news.
Yeah.
The new song from Soft Cell is out now. And the album comes out on the 25th of September. So you must have that was recorded late last year, towards the end of last year?
We recorded it late last year. We actually started recording about a year and a half, long before that, actually. I think the first track we did was Dance Satyria we recorded. And then I think we just listened to the album through, which we just finished it, and we listened to the album through and ticked it off and said, we're both really happy with it. We both love this album. 2 days later, somebody came into the room and said, I've got some news, very bad news for you, that Dave has passed away. Wow. That was literally 2 years. 2 days after we'd.
Oh, it's horrible.
After we'd ticked off the album and said, we're really happy with it. I thought, well, it's timing. That's a bad time. Talk about the time you've left me holding the baby. Thanks very much. I mean, it was.
You can do all the interviews. I'm off.
Yeah, thank you. I'm off. Yeah. But so it was. It's kind of very. It's nice that we did the album. We were really happy with it, and we both were. But obviously, there's a bit of a sad side to it too.
Yeah, of course.
A bittersweet feeling, I think.
Very, very, very bittersweet. But a lovely thing that you got to the point where you were both like, yeah, it's really good. That's great. That's lovely.
Yeah.
And I think the great thing is towards the end, Dave and I had more contact with each other than we'd had for quite a while.
Yeah.
We always were in good contact with each other. And though it wasn't a massive surprise because he'd suffered really serious health problems for a long time. In fact, we thought we were going to lose him a couple of years ago, and he broke his back, which put him in a motorised chair. Though he still he could still work in doing the gigs and things in the UK. So it wasn't a big surprise, but when we just finished the album, he was really on full of good spirits. We were looking forward to even doing some shows together, and he was full of enthusiasm. So it was just a bit of a surprise when it did happen, when it did.
Yeah. Well, the album is going to be coming out on the 25th of September.
Yep.
And the song is out now. If you want to hear the Soft Cell single, it's In Heaven When I Dance With You, which is out now, featuring Marc's fantastic voice.
Oh, yes.
And then you're gigging on Sunday at Crystal Palace Bowl.
Thursday, Chris.
Thursday, that's what I said. That's what I said, Thursday.
Just tested it.
You did, just
you
testing.
heard Sunday, I said
you
Thursday.
You were testing me.
Yes, I was.
If you knew what I was actually doing the show. It's Thursday on with Gary Newman and a fantastic group I love called Ladytron.
Yeah.
Yes, Crystal Palace. So I'm looking forward to that.
Great.
That's a solo show. It's not a soft cell show, but I'll be doing a kind of a hybrid, really. Lots of soft cell songs as well as my own songs too. So
great. All the favourites?
All the favourites, of course.
Fantastic.
I wouldn't dare not to.
Yeah. But it's great that you. I interview a lot of people, and they have, a lot of these artists have heritage songs. Have you had love-hate relationships with your?
I think there was a time after we first finished Soft Cell, 1984, around then, when we decided to take a break, and the break became 17 years.
Wow.
I thought, well, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do other, I want to stay away from the Soft Cell stuff for a while and do something else, probably shooting myself in the foot at the same time. But so you do have you think, I can't hear it anymore for a while. But I've come to embrace it and love it, actually.
Right.
And whatever over the years, and whatever I do on stage, however wrong it goes, or whatever else I decide to do, once I do that song, everybody just loves you instantly. And it's like having a holiday on stage, because everybody sings it, everybody knows it, all the camera lights go up. It's kind of very emotive, and you think, well, if it wasn't for this song, I wouldn't probably be on this stage now. All these nearly 50 years later, making music, working with the people they get to work with, doing the things, coming in to see you, Chris.
Hello.
And so that song has probably opened a lot of, really made things a lot possible for me. So you've always got to pay homage to it, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I'm delighted that the album's coming out, and I'm delighted that you're so fit and well and still performing. It's great. It's lovely to meet you. I could talk to you and ask you.
We could chat for hours, really.
I really could.
Yeah. Forget the radio thing.
Forget the radio thing. We'll just have a chat.
Yeah.
I know, but I do have to play the adverts, otherwise they get really upset.
They do get upset for that.
Lovely to see you.
Thank you,
enjoy your time back in London, and come and see us again. And
I've got a solo album next year. So
next year.
So I'll come in and see you then.
100%.
Yeah. All right, we're done.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Marc Almond.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marc.
Radio X.